Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fabulous this morning. Fabulous? Are we fabulous? Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to sit here until one of you says top of the morning to you, Jackson. Say it. Top of the morning to you, Jackson. I will actually tell you a really funny story. Hello, fabulous. Hello, fabulous. What's up, everybody? What's up, Laura? What is up, every one of you? So I was probably in the third grade, is my guess. And my best friend, Ivan, it was Ivan, and Ivan was my best friend, and he was one of the funniest human beings you've ever met in your life. But he was also, and he'll say this to this day, he was also a bit of a weirdo, you know. And I remember I walked into the classroom, we started our morning classroom, and all of a sudden, Ivan is just tearing the place apart, you know. I mean, he's just like yelling and he's throwing things and he was destroying the classroom, and he's crying and he's doing whatever. And the teacher says, Ivan, calm down. What is going on with you? Ivan, stop it. And he just continues. And then when she finally calms him down and he's sitting there and we're all totally shell-shocked in the classroom, and she goes, Ivan, what is going on? And he goes, nobody said top of the morning to you, Ivan. So top of the morning to you, Ivan. Top of the morning to you, everybody. It's a kind of, you know, appropriately a little bit of a cloudy day here in Los Angeles. And thank you very much. Someone finally said top of the morning to you. Thank you, Joan. And look at everybody here. Good morning, Madison. Hope you're doing well. And yes, you guys are, I see you all. And, you know, I'm smiling. Yep. Because what we're talking about today does not necessarily mean that we have to be glum. How's that? You know, how's that for a little bit of a shocker? You know, I've learned a lot over the past couple of weeks, and oh my God, Pasha, really? Whoa, hold on. Holy cow, buddy! My dog, Pasha, who is one of the loves of my life. You don't need to know how badly he just stunk up this room. You just don't need to know. Seriously. Anyway. Yes, like I said, I have learned a lot. And isn't it amazing as we walk through this experience that it doesn't matter how many times you love and lose, that if you're open to the experience, it's a brand new experience. But there's a reason why we wouldn't be open to the experience. There's a good reason. Because it freaking hurts, and it hurts a lot, and that would justifiably make it something that you're not open to, you know. So anyhow, I'm looking at all you guys. Buenos Aires in the house, and you know what, Ricky? Yeah, you're right. Caroline is happy. She was happy here too. But her spirit is definitely happy. I'm gonna catch you guys up with what has happened and what's going on, and why I wanted to make sure I hopped on with you guys this morning. First of all, I just wanted to bring up, thank you very much, Jill, and anyone else along the way this morning that helps support our channel. There are people behind the scenes here who are making this happen, and everybody needs to go buy brunch this morning. And Jill says, good morning, Jackson. Caroline was a wonderful cat. In honor, I will be donating. Oh, Jill, I love you. Thank you so much. Caroline thanks you, and whoever it is that benefits from your amazing generosity thanks you as well. Normally anybody who knows me knows that I'd be singing a happy morning coffee song right now, but I seem to be addicted to this. Just saying. Can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Anyway, here's what we're going to start with, okay? I know we got a bunch of people here already, and I know that a lot of you guys who are here today are probably experiencing or have experienced, I'm sure most of you have, the loss of an animal companion. And what I'd like you to do right now, right this second, is I'd like you to shout out the name of the first that comes to your mind. Your soul animal or not, someone who you were fostering for a week and lost, somebody who was 20 years old and you lost. There we go. Bring it on, you guys. Everybody in this room, think about a name, put it on up on that screen, and let's honor every last one of them, huh? Right on, you guys. SC, I'm sorry about Bijou. Allison and Charlotte. Miss Kitty and Lippy. Christy and Haven. Miss Kitty and Seabiscuit. Bring it on, you guys. This is, you know what? I'm going to tell you something right this second that I didn't even think twice about coming on and doing a live with you today, because I have felt this incredible sense of a community as like a big blanket. And if I was ever going to process, believe it or not, doing it with you has been like an insane gift, you know? So I just want you to know that as you throw the names of your loved ones up on this screen, that they are under the same blanket as we are. You know how sometimes you're just like, I'm going to go cave right now. So let's bring everyone into the cave. Come on, man. Bring everyone into the cave. Heather and Lacey. Who else? Stella and Whitebird. Horse Welfare is in the house. And again, thank you for your support. And someone just joined the Mojo Knots. And if you have you not joined the Mojo Knots, you can only do it from YouTube, but it does give you access to a lot of fun stuff. And Moose from Sky just joined in. Thank you, Moose from Sky. And yeah, so you know that as we release videos to the world, we also do special stuff, special live streams and outtakes and all kinds of stuff. And Mojo Knots get all that. Vicky and Ozzy, Colleen, Ziggy and Oliver, Lee, Seki, Miss Kitty and Pixie. Miss Kitty. Oh, that's right. Miss Kitty was already in the house. Deidre and Dorothy. Rocket. Right on, man. I'm not just gonna let this happen. I got nowhere to be. As we're doing that, wow, man, there are a lot of people in this room. Don't do it. Hey, homie. Pasha, I know you want to be part of this too. He's like, I like Caroline. I like Caroline plenty. He has to say everything loudly. Anyhow, Debbie and BJ. Much love out to Tibmeister, Finn, Audrey. It's so funny. I've got two dogs running around. The little light one is Audrey, and we got my big goofball over here, Pasha, who apparently ate something weird last night. And Audrey will be the one who runs around, and she's like, fire, fire, fire. And then all of a sudden he's like, where's the fire? And that's what the two of them do. So Audrey is actually in the catio, yelling at squirrels. He's like, "Where's the fire?" Okay, anyway. Look at you guys. I love everything that's happening in this room right now. Love you guys so much. Gina Baker, thank you so much, Gina, for your love. And I'm sure that there's some of you guys out there. Ella, welcome to the Mojo Knots. I think that there's a lot of you out there who the timing is how the timing was with Caroline. I'm sure there's some of you guys who are dealing with a very recent loss. And some of you who are, and there's Shannon in the house, who is quite the log jammer. There we go. Sorry, I'm just reading. Oh man, everyone send some love to Megan. Megan, shout out the name. Megan lost somebody yesterday. Megan, tell us the name. Sorry, I gotta wait. As soon as Megan puts that name on, would some of you guys just like echo it, please? Because I can't follow everything. I'm gonna get nauseous trying to find Megan's thing. Megan, tell us the name, Megan. Let's give a bunch of love to Megan, who lost someone yesterday. Anybody else this week? Anybody else lose somebody this week? Please let me know. Megan, I'm waiting for you, and everyone's waiting for you. And this is not all about Caroline, although it is in many ways for me. So as soon as I swear I'm not going anywhere until we know the name of Megan's lost one. And like I said, as soon as that happens, will you guys just shout out that name for me? So for anybody who has not been following my vlog in the past couple of months, oh my God, it's been like, holy crap. It's been, the first vlog in this series was around Christmas, I think. No doubt. Wow, man, time, right? So anyway, around Christmas, the story with Caroline, my beautiful Caroline, went like this. Caroline was 15, and my wife, who is absolutely just plugged in, man, she knew it. She said, something's wrong with Caroline. I can feel it. So she made sure she had gone to the vet. She had had a checkup, been palpated, the whole 9 yards. And then and they didn't find anything. Everything was fine. 3 months later, she had lost a little bit of weight. We noticed that. Mina said, no, there's still something. And our acupuncture doctor was over in the house doing, because, you know, Caroline had pretty severe arthritis, and she was over here doing acupuncture. Mina said, could you just palpate her again? And she did, and lo and behold, she found something large, meaning large, and it was hiding. It because of its placement, it wasn't easy to find. Anyway, huge mass. And once we found out what that was, which was, it was like a very large mass on her liver. And you get over that moment. Of course, you're never going to hear me say get over it, but got over it. Enough to get into the moment. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a picture here of Caroline so I can get you guys current. And we started getting, okay, what are we going to do? Is there a way through this? That's where, of course, you're going to start going. And we got on board with and the thing that we of course did was we touched base with our closest vets, people who, no matter what they say, we're going to buy it, and when we talked to them, it was a surgery that we can do. We couldn't get rid of it because it was on the liver, but it had not metastasized as well as we knew, and we could what's called debulk. We could debulk it enough that chemo would shrink it to the point where she could have a normal life. Fast forward, there's a lot of stuff. And I always get the facts wrong. And if Mina's watching right now, she's going to be like, oh, you got the facts wrong. Anyway, when they opened up Caroline on the table, they call us 5 minutes later and they said, we got to close up again. It was not her liver after all. It was on her pancreas. And that meant that every pathway that we had until that moment was gone. There was nothing. Pancreatic cancer is not very common in cats at all. There's not a lot of case studies on it. There's not a lot of course of action. And this thing was the size of the great outdoors. Mina was faced with the decision of either there was surgery, and finding someone to do the surgery was hard. Because she had almost statistically, it would be assured that she would die during the surgery. And if she did make it through, Audrey, I should have just stuck him in a room full of greenies. Anyway, so if she lived through the surgery, she could have a normal life if she lived. If not, we could do just chemo radiation. It would buy her some months. Or we would choose hospice, and we were looking at days to weeks. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. That's what we were faced with. That's why I started the vlog. I started because I needed to talk it. Because no matter how many times you have had to navigate this, there's always something that's new, and you can't just go with the gut, So, and it was amazing because I got a lot of grief, man. I was 100% gonna go with the surgery, 100%. I thought, and I know some of you out there right now are like, "Are you kidding me? You're gonna love her so much you're gonna kill her." It's a personal choice, man, and I was very comfortable. She was going to be asleep anyway. If she didn't make it, the only thing that mattered was, number one, how painful the recovery would be, and number two, Hey, Audrey, come here. I'm going to, hold on one second, good people. Audrey, come here. Get in here. And stay in here. That's right. They do call me the dog whisperer. Anyway, so, and I'll tell you what was not helpful. There was a lot of stuff coming at me that was just not helpful, and some that was, and some that I thought were not helpful POVs, but turned out to be. I listened to them all. At the end of the day, I had a moment with Caroline, total clarity. I realized what it was that I thought she wanted, and I felt comfortable going with hospice. Angela, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. And then the vlog became about that, about sitting with Caroline, sitting with the hand that was dealt, trying to experience as much as I possibly could, and be there. and be with you at the same time. And I will tell you something, it was revolutionary. It was revolutionary to me how much was discovered in being there and speaking it. I am telling you what, if there was one lesson, it was speaking things that that before that would have just rattled around, and just like it would be like a bullet in a tank. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't even know it was happening. Unbelievable stuff. And I'm going to talk to you guys in a minute about something I'm kind of excited about. But so I went all the way through, you know, I don't know how many episodes of the vlog I filmed. And of course, the hardest one was the day she passed, which I believe was April 9th. And held myself to it. And next morning came out right here to the catio and shot the last episode of it. And what I wanted, so that was a lot of explanation, man. I'm sorry, you guys, but I just wanted to catch you up. And and then I thought it was actually, I don't know, a couple days ago. And I realized I had not told you what was going on since then. Vlog is over, I'm done, you know, but not. It goes on. So that's it. I wanted to just catch you up. I wanted to be with you guys and hear about what was going on. And I wanted to bring in my close friend, my compadre in teaching grief, and about navigating this world, which we've done in Cat Camp many times now, and had amazing sessions with so many people. Anyway, Stephanie Rodriguez, are you in the house?
I am.
Good morning. Everybody, this is
everybody.
Stephanie.
Hello, Jackson.
Hello, good morning. We got to stop meeting like this.
It's wonderful to see all of you.
Is it? Have you been following along?
No, we don't. We have to keep meeting like this. What?
Have you been watching?
Yeah, I've been following. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy how cool it is, right?
Yeah, I have. I've been glued. I've been listening to you, but I've been glued to the comments.
Yeah.
I've been glued to the comments.
It's
yeah.
It's an amazing bunch of people that are here.
By the way, Megan's cat's name is Truffle.
I think
Megan's cat's name is Truffle.
I know. At one point I looked down and I was like, and I saw Truffle. So yes. Thank you guys and thank you, Stephanie, for calling out Truffle. But you're used to this with me. I mean, you and I have done, I don't even know how many of these that we've done now.
I don't.
But you pointed out a couple days ago that we started this like 4 years ago.
4. Yeah. Pandemic.
Wow, man. Well, what we're talking about is when we did our first grief session with Cat as part of Cat Camp, and it was, talk about revolutionary. Again, it was crazy. It was amazing. And because of that, we've kept doing it, and we keep exploring new topics, and because there's always somewhere to go, you know, because it's a tricky bastard. I got nothing. I got no place else to go with that except that. But man, there's always something. And now you've been a grief counselor for how long now?
20 years in July.
Amazing.
It's a long time. Yeah.
But it's not like, you know, I'm sure that somebody out there would be like, well, that's a lot of time to hang out in grief, and it must lead to like compassion fatigue or whatever. But how do you feel 20 years into it?
Like I still am really learning something every day.
Right. Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. it's watching, like you said, it's like watching the comments in here. I'll tell you what, you guys, you don't even know how, again, I keep using the word revolutionary, that it's been for us along the way, being with you and in classes where we get to all be straight up vulnerable. And I think that, when you said like that it was the pandemic, I don't think that we would have had the level of synergy that we did if it weren't for when it happened,
I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
also because
That made all the difference.
It did be also, well, number one, I think we shared, what's the word? Like there was a specter in the world of grief.
There was, and it wasn't being addressed.
Yeah.
There was nobody helping us give that specter a name at the time,
Right.
which that's a whole other
It's a whole another
episode. If you want to talk about pandemic grief, that is still going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that also there was, as we sort of begrudgingly embraced a world of Zoom, I think that we were able to go. I think that, like you guys are all doing right now, over 2,000 of you in the room right now, I think, and we can be much more vulnerable in a big group where we can be in our space, in our own cave or whatever. Give me a second as I say hello to some of the folks. Oh, there we have it. Who is it?
This is Fancy. This is Fancy, the fancy dog.
Fancy dog.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Fancy.
I'm calling out a few people. Hold on one second. There's Mo. Mo saying hi to everybody. And I'm just pulling some right out of here. Just a little bit of love and peace here from Practical Sales Force. And somebody who just, there we go. Let's just read this. Oops. All right, there we go. Thank you, CB, and everybody else who's chiming in. And Lori knows the score. Lori knows the score. So anyway, but Fancy dog. How come Fancy isn't like running around barking at squirrels and stinking up the room? Why do you get the perfect dog?
Oh, but because if I didn't pick her up when she wants to be picked up, you'd be hearing her. She would be telling you all about it. Yeah.
There's that. There's Betty O'Brien's in the house, man. Betty O'Brien. My God, Betty, we go back a long time. And it's good to see you here. I'm very happy to see you. Anyway, so okay, so first of all, I have things I want to talk to you about, and I know we're already going a lot longer than I thought we were going to go. But I'm excited about this. Lindsay, you want to bring it up? We just decided it as this week was going on. So we're going to have a new class, you guys. We have not done it since, I think, last summer. And this is what we're going to be talking about. Because this was the thing that, as I was going through everything with Caroline, this kept coming up. This kept coming up. And I would love for you, because we just came up with title and all that, and the date. And shout out to the amazing Christina Ha from Cat Camp, who at the very last second put this all together. Tickets are on sale as of this moment. It just literally, you guys have no idea. Like, this literally just happened. And this will be Sunday, May 19th, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can join from anywhere on this great planet. They usually go about 90 minutes where we will go through this topic and then try to do some Q&A as well. And I am sure it will be, as it always is, a real, you know, I'll come back to it, but you know, we've talked a lot about ritual as transformative, and I think that this will be that. So you guys can just take a look, go to catcamp.com, sign up. As always, I'm fairly sure there is a limit. In fact, I know there is. There's a limit to the class, and I believe it tops out around 400, I believe. And seeing as though there's 2,000 people in this room, I would say probably it'll, yeah. Anyway, so join us, please. But this was the thing, and I said it the first time in the vlog, and when it happened, as it happened, I was like, what the hell was that? And so I was sitting there with Caroline. We were on the couch late at night. I turned on the camera, started talking, and I was like, I said something like, you know, we're hanging out. We're hanging out. It's a quiet moment. Boy, this just feels beautiful just to sit here and have a quiet moment. She was purring, and man, it's a beautiful moment. Why the hell did I not do this all these years when she was well? And then I went, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Why would, and that was the takeoff point where Stephanie and I and Christina started to pop around with this topic. Think about it, everybody. And I want you to please, because we just came up with this class, so let us know what you're thinking about it and whether you vibe with this. In the moment where we should be the kindest, the gentlest, the most self-parenting, we take that opportunity to beat the living hell out of ourselves. And what the hell is that? And that's where, shame. I am so ashamed at my past behavior, guilt, what else? Resentment, resenting vets who did something wrong, or partners who said, no, you don't have to do that. You'll pick anybody. And that's what we do. Let me know if you guys are, if you're vibing. I need to know if you're vibing, because if not, we'll just pick another topic for the class. But I think we're doing the right thing here. That is the hell. I said, what the hell? Adiba says, that is the hell. You're right. That is the hell. And it is compounding hell on top of hell. And I've caught myself so many times since then doing the same thing. What the hell, Stephanie? What the hell is it?
Yeah. Well, that's how come we're going to do a whole class on it. But basically what the hell it is that, as hard as it is to believe this, we prefer that misery, that recognizable, that devil that we know, that beating ourselves up, that we prefer, our minds prefer that hell to the hell of sitting in the helplessness that we have to experience in the face of death. And that's because we live in a society that is very death-phobic. It's a death-phobic society. And so we are never given, as children, we're not surrounded by healthy models for how to process death or loss of any kind, for that matter. And so when it comes to it, we do not want to sit in that helplessness, and we'll do anything, including causing ourselves great suffering in order not to have to do that.
Who's vibing? Come on, man. I gotta believe that that there's vibe out there. I mean, I can't believe how bad it can get. And it's funny. Wait, I'm just going to look at Lindsay and see if she can nod or shake your head. Lindsay, if I gave you a picture, could you fly it up or no? You could or you couldn't? Wait, are you texting me? Well, you could pop on, Lindsay, if you want to. But I wanted to send a picture because I think it's funny in a way. Okay, I'm gonna text it to her really quick, and then she will not ask because I just gave her something out of the clear blue sky. But if you could just okay, wait, hold on one second. Texting this lady. The reason I'm doing this is because when I finally said, you know what, I'm doing a live stream, and I go to Stephanie. I'm like, can we do this? And we do it, and it's all coming together. And by the time I got off the phone with Stephanie, and we were talking about it, and it was a great conversation as always. And then what I do is when we start to vibe, I start to scroll, and then there went the rest of the night, the whole night. Did not sleep while I put this craziness together. And I wanted to bring up this picture of what my living room looked like in the morning, because you will see what this class wound up being. But all these things that you and I talked about, the idea that we would rather do anything than sit with the feeling of being powerless, of being helpless, anything. And that includes tearing yourself a new one at the time when you are the most an open wound. You're going to pour salt in your own wound.
Yep.
There it is.
That's what we do.
Look at what my living room looked like, you guys. I mean, it's hilarious because it was literally anything. That some of this is stuff that that came out while Stephanie and I were on the phone, and then I grabbed my magic markers and my crayons, and the rest of it is that I am in no way an artist. In fact, my portrait of a sad flower in there is one of the worst things I've ever seen. I think that came from Sad Isn't Bad. Was that something that you said it was a children's book or something?
That's Sad Isn't Bad. First of all, I have to tell you, when you sent me this picture, I thought, I want to have this framed, because this is like the perfect physical representation of every great conversation we've ever had. This is exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
You could look in and take a picture of our conversation.
Stephanie,
yes, Sad Isn't Bad.
Bring it down. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Isn't Bad is actually the name of an old children's grief book from the 1990s, which is a brilliant little book that I believe actually adults need just as much, if not more, than children do, teaching us that there are no bad emotions, and certainly sadness is not one. Emotions are just emotions, but we, as the society, the overculture, teach us that emotions need to be judged. There are good emotions and there are bad emotions. In reality, there are pleasant emotions and painful emotions, but that doesn't mean that one is good and one is bad. And when you start to wrap your head around that, it's incredibly freeing, especially in regards to grief and loss.
You know, one of the things that you had brought up, and we're not going to get too far into this today, you guys, because we got a whole class to put this into. But we were talking about how, as a product of and when we talk about society, I don't think it's necessarily American society. I think this is a global thing. This is just what it is in a way to be part of this species. But anyway, there's this thing where you were talking about when you're a baby and maybe into a toddler, and believe me, my knowledge of the stages of childhood development, you can fit in a thimble. But the idea that like you're going to sit there, something's going to happen, and you are going to wail, like, you know, like the top of your head, like your puppet, the top of your head is opening up and you're screaming. And then when you're done, oh, let's go play. Now we're into that moment.
Yep.
Think about that, everybody. I think about that absolute, this is experience, this is life coming at me, this is me experiencing it. And then somewhere along the line, like you just said, this is good, this is bad. This is embarrassing. This is right. Okay, this is right. And somewhere along the line, this all becomes something that we don't do. So one of the examples that I told you about, Stephanie, the other day was during the part of this whole story where we finally let Caroline go, and it was right out here in the catio, and what could be a beautiful thing, and of course it was at the end of the day, it was, but man, I was dealing with so much stuff, and resentment and anger and grumble, and this isn't perfect, and I go away, everybody, and you know, and I diminished that moment because I wasn't getting what I wanted, or that's what I thought, right? And then it wasn't until the next morning when I taped that last blog, and you guys can see it, in the last moment of the last blog, I fell apart. And that's what I was trying not to do the day before. And to a certain degree, the entire, you know, couple of months that we were going through it. Isn't that crazy? It could have been easy, right? I guess. Is that something, Stephanie, in your work that like you see a lot of, the idea that like you, as the counselor, you would be going point A, point B, and then you're watching us do needlepoint around point A and point B.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, it's ingrained in us. I think that's why in the title of this session that we're doing begins with the word permission, because it's not just a matter of, well, it is a matter of judgment, but it's not just saying something is good and something is bad. It is having permission, being allowed. And part of that needlepoint going around that we do is because we're trying not to do the very thing that we need most to do is not allowed us to do. And this, of course, takes us all back to the whole fact of disenfranchised loss.
Disenfranchised loss.
When it comes to, exactly.
I was going to say,
which
I
is
don't know if anybody who's in this room.
Allowed.
So sorry, I keep stepping on you because there's a little lag between us.
There's
but
I
don't know if anybody who is here right now has ever has been in any of our classes before, but that is the heart of, and that is one of the first things when Stephanie, when you and I talked for the very first time, and you brought that term out of the clear blue sky, and talk about falling apart, man. It was so. If you haven't been in our classes before and you haven't heard the term disenfranchised loss, I'd like you to vibe with that for a second. The idea that what we experience as loved ones of non-human animal family members, that what we go through when we lose them is less than if you were to be without a human partner. And we are taught to get over it. Wait a minute, you took 3 days off of work when Fluffy died. We can, come on, get back to work, and we've seen disenfranchised loss with many other forms of loss, including miscarriage. And I really, honest to God, that when you said it the first time, for me, the vibe could not have been stronger. And I'm sure that you guys out there, I'm sure there's plenty of you that vibe with that as well. And that's what we're stuck with. We're stuck with trying to find a way through a forest when someone is telling us that it's just a lawn that needs to be mowed, you know, and
Yeah.
that's it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and that probably is so much of your career, is helping us get through the forest. But
Well, it is. Yeah.
But you said it. You said it. We're not getting through something. We're not climbing Grief Mountain. We are, and this is the other. I know I'm blowing smoke up your ass all morning, but I'm going to keep doing it. The other thing that has helped me so tremendously is the concept of incorporation. And anybody out there who is dealing, again, we're going to cover all this stuff in our class as we always do, but the idea, and I'm just going basically from what you've given me and what everybody who has been our student has given me, that helped me in the past couple of weeks, since Caroline passed. And then you're left with, now what? And the idea that we're not getting over it, we're not climbing Grief Mountain, we're not getting through it, we are incorporating loss into life. And as such, we then get to reclaim what you were saying about the baby, you know? I get to cry my eyes out, blow my nose,
That's right.
send some love to her spirit, and hey, you know, let's go out in the backyard. Think about that. You know, that is again, has changed my life, because I can do that without judgment. Wait a minute, it's 3 weeks later and you're crying all over the place about Caroline. Hey, Jackson, right? What? You know what?
Yeah.
It's okay. And I have to keep telling myself that. And I will tell you one more thing in terms of blowing smoke, is that when we spoke the other night, because I was blowing it off. You know, Stephanie
Oh,
wrote
I
to me
know
like,
that.
I
know.
Me.
I
You
know
knew that,
very well.
it was like 12 hours after Caroline passed, and Stephanie's like, I'm here. And I was like,
Yeah.
I got something to do. And finally, when we got to talk the other night, it was just, once again, it all comes flying out. You guys, please, if there's one thing that you can do, is just as you called out their names before, talk to somebody that you trust and somebody who you know is not going to judge, and freaking get it out of your mouth. Get it out of your mouth. It is cancer inside your body. If it's not words out of your mouth, man, you tell that story and the story becomes a story, and it stops being the thing that is eating you alive. And oh God, but that was a beautiful quote. Who said that? Man, there it is. Look how beautiful that is.
Yep.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you so much for that, man. And yeah, like I said before, incorporating loss into life is just as you incorporate joy into life, just as you incorporate memories that sustain you into life. It's all one, and one is not more important or more monumental than the other. Vibe with that, man. By the way, are you still doing privates?
I am. Yeah. Yes,
All right,
I am.
everybody. If you're going through something and you want someone to go through it with you who will help you, that would be this woman right here. Actually, it would be Fancy. She'll just put Fancy on. And so go to embracing. It's embracingyourgrief.com. And you can have a consultation. Yeah. But if it's not Stephanie, grab somebody. And like I said, I'm still smiling, man. We're an hour into this. I'm still smiling because whatever, because it's Saturday, and because I'm with you guys, and I'm with you, Stephanie and Fancy, and I'm with Caroline, and it's a good day. All right, Stephanie. Stephanie, what are your socials? Are you on social media?
Just embracing your grave and embracing your grief is everywhere.
Is everywhere.
I'm most active on TikTok, YouTube, but yeah, just do at embracing your grief and I'll come up.
Why am I shocked about the
socials.
TikTok part? What? I don't know why, but I am. Yeah, everybody, go ahead and let's see what else you guys are saying. Let's see what's going on out there. There it is, embracingyourgrief.com, embracing your grief on Facebook, on TikTok, and don't hesitate. Like I said, man, don't hesitate to talk to a friend as well. As long as they don't give you grief while you grieve, then everything is good. But it's been, again, revolutionary to talk this out. Lizzie, will you bring up the thing one more time? And many thanks, by the way, to the fabulous Lindsay Robbins, who is here with us as well, pushing all the buttons, making this whole thing happen today. And thank you, Lindsay. And there we go. Permission to break. Grieving the loss of animal companions without resentment, guilt, and shame. All of those pieces of paper with magic marker come down to that.
That's right.
And we will be there Sunday, May 19th, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Go on over to catcamp.com, get your tickets. They are $20, and it'll go for about 90 minutes. And you'll see, man, it is, every time we do this, the room itself is transformative, but we hope so this will be. If for no other reason that you're taking a look at that description and you're going, yep, there it is. That's what, when we were naming it, we were going, we got to get those words in there. And we were talking about trying to get the words, something about like hurting yourself. That didn't make it into that part of it, but that's, I just wanted, and Stephanie just wanted you guys to go, yep, that's it. And believe me, even if you're not aware of it, you've experienced this. You know what, Stephanie's really funny. I'll get in trouble if I go too far into it, but I went to my wife right after we got off our call, and I go, man, revolutionary. It's revolutionary. And she immediately was like, yeah. Yeah. But then the funny thing was, she started talking about one of her experiences as a rescuer, and at one point a very high volume rescuer. And I was like, yeah, but no, that's what I'm talking about. And she's like, no, it's not. So she's gonna kill me. She's gonna murder me. But anyway, as we look at all the, oh my God, there's still 2,000 people in this room. I can't believe how amazing it's been. We're an hour into this, man. Stephanie, I'm going to wrap this, but I'm going to let you go, and I will see you in like 2 weeks, something like that. No, less. And whatever, dudes, whatever. Thank you for coming and thank you for having Fancy come in here. Everybody say goodbye, Stephanie. Much love.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.
So anyway, man, that woman is a rock star. She really is. And I'm sure, you know, by the way, if not Stephanie, there are wonderful grief counselors everywhere. And I just happen to be lucky enough to have met her. And let me tell you something. It was funny. Christina Hoff, founder of Cat Camp, and I were interviewing for somebody to do a grief class with me for Cat Camp, and we called up Stephanie. We're on the phone. Stephanie said this one thing, and as soon as she said it, I started to bawl. I'm like interviewing this person for a gig, and I started to like I trying to like keep myself together while I like snot all over the table. I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was it was she said that right after talking about disenfranchised loss, which, like I said, I don't know about you, but it was like, you know, kaboom. Then she said, when we grieve one, we grieve them all. It opens the door to grieving everyone that you've lost. And then I fell apart. You know, in a time span, I would say right before the pandemic even began, for the next couple of years, we lost so many souls in our life, my wife and I. And I added it up during our last class that we had, and I made it into a list, and it stunned me how many. It was something like between humans and animals, like a dozen. Crazy. But being able to see it as a continuum, being able to see, like, I don't even know how to, but the second that it was put into focus, and what Stephanie allowed me, what I hope that we're allowing for that this whole room full of wonderfulness is giving you, is permission. You know, give me permission to experience that, and to not put judgment on the fact that I felt like Swiss cheese, you know, and I wasn't tough enough to deal with it. And, you know, Jackson, you work with and live with, and, you know, it's your fault. You're going to bring a dozen animals into your life and whatever. It cried in such there was no way to stop it from happening in that moment, even though it was like an interview. And it was so cleansing, and that was my luckiness, you know. And I'll tell you what, man, so just to sum everything up, how has it been since Caroline was freed from her mortal coil? It's been great. It sucked, and it's been great, and everything in between. We made and this was something, again, that happened in the moment. After she died, Minu rushed around, found these those little battery operated votive candles, little tiny ones. I don't even know why we had them in the house. She found those. We lit a normal, you know, you light a white candle and let it burn. No, we do, and let that burn. And then we did the thing with this vote, and she made this beautiful arrangement with flowers that we had in the house because somebody had sent us, and she sprinkled them in sort of a heart shape around the spot that Caroline loved, right in front of the fireplace. In fact, that picture is used in the vlog, so you'll see it there. And then we found a pic that we took. Mina took an amazing picture of her that day, and it will mess you up because you look at one of the very last images of Caroline from that day, and you know how everybody, you will go through it, man. You'll go through, is it the right time? You know, oh boy, am I going to wind up like doing it the wrong time, blah, 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 blah. That's part of the torture that we do. This is the very last picture, and I don't know. I don't want to. I just want you to see this. So look at that. There it is. That is her in the catio a couple hours beforehand. And you look at her and you go, oh my gosh, she looks beautiful. She looks amazing. She looks alive and vibrant. 20 minutes before that, she was in a kitty unit position facing the wall, which to me, it was very clear. I never had a doubt. But anyway, what was I saying? I don't even remember. But it was that's what. So we lit the votives, and would you believe that those votives? What we said was like, we'll just keep it lit until those little batteries run out, and then we'll break down the thing. And we decided, that picture, we put it through the printer. Looked like crap, but we put it through the printer, found a frame in the closet, put it down there, and thus a shrine was born. And all through it, and 2 weeks, those candles stayed lit for 2 weeks. How crazy is that? That is not normal. But we just honored it, and every time one of them would blow out, we would put it in recycle. Next one, and then it was down to one, and it was 2 weeks later. And God, how crazy! But that's been part of it. It's been part of it. It's been there's a gaping hole in our little world here. Caroline was a very big presence, and for her 15 years, almost 16 years, and the rituals that are that you're not even aware of, like who eats first, where they eat, what this one loves to eat. She's not going to eat this over here. All right, and what feeding time looks like. And then you do this, that thing. That happens. Of course it does. And again, what I've learned is in that moment, and you have that, you go, that's it, and then life has another moment for us. I'm telling you, it can be, grief is grief. It's going to mess you up. Loss will mess you up. It's supposed to hurt. That was another thing we talked about. It's supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to be easy, but that's what this is. You get, I know, and there's so many cliches, but it's better to have loved than lost. Don't you agree? I wouldn't trade 1 second, and I'm sure you guys would not. All those names that came flying up here, would you guys trade a second? I don't know. It can be so much simpler than I've made it before. And that vlog just changed me. And to that end, everyone knows who's watched it, how many times I almost brought the whole damn thing down because it was so cringy for me to make and to think about, like, oh my God, everyone's going to think I'm, doing it for the views or whatever. But it truly was, this class would not exist. This live stream would not exist. I would have just kept it quiet, man. But I didn't. And I'm glad that I did not. And it's, you know, anyway, I'm just saying to you that I, in the midst of all this, had a birthday, and as we get older, you know how and I think people toss this off in a very glib way, you know, never gets easier, you know, nonsense, never gets easier. Well, of course it doesn't get easier. If the door opens every time you experience loss, it's going to be harder every time, because the door's open and it's one more person or one more animal through the door. But it's okay. What's the alternative? That we just don't let anyone in, and that sucks. You know, the idea of just, you know, going into your cave and not taking anybody else with you. No. Thank you, Angela, and great, amazing avatar. More than anything. And how much do I love you guys? Thank you so much, man. Many thanks. And yeah, man, you know, the getting the more rotations around the sun you got in this life, hopefully you are around to have deep enough relationships that you feel loss if they go away, you know. So Stephanie and I will be doing our class, and I'm serious, man. This live stream was not done so that I could advertise a class. The class came out of the fact that I decided to come out and talk to you guys. So join us, though. I think it'll really will be. You saw what my living room floor looked like. I'm inspired, and so is she, and I think you guys really will benefit from, and so will we, and we'll benefit from being there. So join us on May 19th, noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. Hold on. 9 p.m. in Madrid. 8 p.m. in London. And join us from wherever in the world you are. I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning in Singapore. It is a beautiful thing to look out into that room and see people like you in every corner of the world. And we'll all be there. And please, and I'm saying this in real time, because I don't want to hear from you next week, because it's a Zoom class. Zoom does cap the class, and I believe it's 400. So if you feel like going, go. Listen, if you're not sure, you're like, and you can always give your ticket to someone else and who needs it also. In the meantime, thank you to everybody who has shouted out a name. Thank you to everybody who has shouted out a name here. And I'm just grabbing one right there. There we have it, man. There we have it. Boom. No miracle hands. This was not supposed to be the grief session. This was supposed to be me talking to you guys about what has happened over the past couple of weeks. That's it. And then it turned into something altogether different. It turned into an announcement of a class. And I'm going to stick around here for a minute after, Jane, I'm sending love to you. It's okay. If you can't cry in this space right now, then, let's do it one more time. I know that you shouted out a name at the beginning here, as I shouted out Caroline at the very beginning here. And as we wrap this up, Valoria, Rudy, Benny, Mojo, Lily, Barry, Caroline. Shout them out. Anybody you didn't shout out the first time? Let's do it now, huh? And that's how we'll go out today. I'll stick around and watch all these names fly in, and I'm going to randomly pick a few. And boom, there's one. And boom, there's one. There we go. You are so not alone, man. And I am not alone. I am not alone in my cave as I am proving right here. And you are in a room full of people who know you and love you. And that is the truth, man. That is the truth. We are in a room with over 2,000 other people who know you and love you because we share this. We share this. I can't, oh my God, my mouth keeps wanting to be a place where curse words come out. But I'm a New Yorker. It was my first word, after all. But that's the thing that has absolutely, I believe me, I am a whole lot aware of how lucky I am because I get to do this. And I just want to make sure that to whatever degree I can, you get to do this also. So I will keep doing this as we go our own way until we see each other again. Just in case you're wondering, yes, it is true. We've taken a bit of a pause in releasing new videos, and because I needed it, and nothing more than that. I just need a little bit of a moment, and but in the meantime, know that we'll be doing some more live streams along the way because I love doing this. Well, also, like I said, in 2 weeks, if you choose to, you'll see me at the class with Stephanie, which again is called Permission to Break. And boy, I could do this all day. This is cool. All right. Light, love, and mojo to every one of you guys. Many thanks to everybody who has thrown in some. Hold on. See, it's so funny. It's ironic in a way that the people who actually just helped support the channel with a donation in here. Actually, I can't bring up their comment, but Michelle DeMaio says, tears are words the mouth can't say, nor can the heart bear. That's it. Wow, what an amazing freaking quote from Joshua Weisenbaker. Remember, it's okay to cry. Tears unshed are not tears avoided. They are tears that carve hidden rivers of sorrow within. Oh, Michelle, leaving us with some deepness, man. And I'm going to pick out just a few more. I can't stop. This is amazing. There we go. And of course, Michelle, you get the last word. How about that? Light, love, and mojo to you guys. I love you, and I will see you in a few weeks. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Christina Ha. Thank you, Michelle DeMaio, for your wise words right now. And have a wonderful Saturday.